Hello everybody, how you doing? And a very happy Saturday for you. It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and we're going to do freehand sharpening today. And what this is what I say is proper freehand sharpening, as in you hold the stone in your hand and the knife in your other hand, and you do it freehand. That's what I call proper freehand. This is a bit different than the bench stone because the bench stone is solid. It doesn't move. You have to practice, keeping your angle pretty still. This one is a little bit more advanced, but it's a nice one to learn at the same time because it's just teaching you angles. And hopefully, we'll give you a little rough guide to it today. And last night we're on the podcast, and if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It was a great podcast. Me and Justin absolutely loved doing it. Really enjoyed it. We set a wee challenge for anybody who wants to take part in the challenge is to carry a fifth blade knife and use it for absolutely everything you can. And over the period of about a month, put down the jobs it couldn't do in your average day life. I don't mean working on a building site. I'm talking about just around the house, if you're out in an office or whatever. Just detail what it couldn't do on your everyday knife experience. And that's the way to find out just how useful this is, because you'd be amazed how much a simple little knife. Now, I've gone for a toady one. This is wee one that Randy sent me. I love the scales on it. It's in great condition, but it's just a wee cheap knife that you can pick up for a couple of pound in a car boot sale, or any sort of shop that sells second-hand stuff. You'll normally find these wee cheap pen knives. There's nothing to it at all, just a little cheaper. Now, it's made pretty well. But it's two tiny wee blades. This is the main blade, and that's the wee shorter. I'll just show you it. There you are. There's the wee shorter blade there for it. It's had a little bit of use. Good snap still left in it. Great wee blade. And I'm going to carry this in my fifth pocket with the other things that I carry. And if you watch the video, you'll see what I carry in my fifth pocket. So we're going to sharpen this today. But here's a couple of examples that would be great for a fifth pocket. This is the wee butterbean or BB canoe, mini canoe. Great little knife, white bone, beautiful, from Rough Rider, under a tenner, I think. This is the Case Peanut, which is again another popular knife. Bigger blade on this and a pen blade. Really, really lovely. Well constructed knife, strong little knife, and you will be amazed at how much you can get done with this. I have done this before and I just know, but this was a few years ago, so I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to carry this every day in my fifth pocket when I'm wearing jeans. So there you go, they're out of the way. This is what we're going to sharpen today. And the stones I've picked, these are from the Lansky fixed blade system, which is an older version, fixed blade system now compared to the more modern ones like the Work Sharp. I found this lying in a box yesterday and I hadn't used it for I don't know how long. And it was just lying there, and I had all the diamond stones for it, and they're just lying there going to waste. And I thought, no, let's do a wee freehand and use these and make this part of my sharpening videos. So the ones I've chosen for today, this knife, I'll have to tell you, is, now this is me, look at the whites of my nails, right? It wouldn't cut you if I tried pushing that all day long, and it doesn't cut that way either. Nothing, just absolutely nothing. And I'm pressing. So what I decided was, one of the things I was told, if you're going to reprofile a knife, because this has no edge whatsoever, and on this side I think it had been damaged at some point there on that side. I don't know whether you can see that. I hope you can. Can you see that? It's just, this isn't level at all. So one of the things I was told is when you're going to reprofile, do it properly with the first stone. Take away the badness that you see, put an edge on it, and get it so that it can cut. It doesn't have to be a slicer, just so it can cut, then move down the grits. That's my mantra today, is start, with enough diamond to fix this. Now, I'm used diamond stones on these because they're easier to do the fix, and that's the only reason I'm using it. Normally, once I've done this, I'll only ever use that 1000 grit ceramic. So there we go. But this is doing a repair. So this is the first one that I'm going to use, and this is the coarse diamond. Okay, I think it's about 320 or something like that. So what I do, and this is what you can do if you're just starting. I sort of have an angle that I gauge roughly, but I can adapt it as I'm doing when I see what sort of an edge is coming. But what you can do is put your finger down there, set that up against it, the angle you think that's starting to cut. Yeah. And then just do that all the way down. And you just do it slowly all the way down. You can tell how coarse that stone is. It's good. It should get rid of, and I'm just doing it. I'm just doing this where I feel the angle is. And then after, I do about 10 swipes, I'll have a look and make sure. Now, I'm not pushing. Let the diamond do the cutting. The diamonds in these stones were really good. I mean, I had some fantastic results with this sharpening system. I think it's great. It's just got a bit old, like everything else, like myself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to see, have I got any sort of an angle. It is an angle, but there's a big detent there, so I'm just going to keep going to see if I can bring this angle down to that level. So again, I'm just going to do it. And look, when I'm doing sharpening, there's no right or wrong. You just get it done the best you can. This is just an old knife, and this is what you practice on to keep your angle still. If you see the knife's coming down, it's not moving up or down. We're just holding on to it, and we're just pulling it across the stones. We're not pushing into them. We're slicing across the top, as if there was a bit of skin here, like a milk pudding, and you're taking the top off it. So just do this. Now, I'm doing this nice and slowly. Again, if I was doing this myself, I'd be going back and forward, up and down quite fast to get more action on it. But I just want you to see, all it is trying to keep that angle in a good space. Now, you can see now there's starting to be a bit of the blade coming off. This is a carbon steel, which is the easier to sharpen, I think, and takes a really screaming edge. And carbon steel is quite a tough steel, do you know what I mean? It's not a delicate steel. It can do some work. That's why you'll see it on a lot of the bushcraft knives, 1095, 01 tool steel. They're a good, tough little blade. So they can do more than what we give them credit for because of their size. Now, let's just keep having a wee look. And I'm going to have to look around the camera and let you know what I see. We're starting to get some sort of an edge there. Do you know, I'm going to just do this properly and get it out of the way. I know I hate it too, but I want to get that edge as good as I can. Just flattening it so it's all the one level. You can see that, right? I'm sure you can see that. Now, can you see that this wee bit here now is the last wee bit sticking up just about there? So I'm going to try and get that off. And again, I'm not digging this in. It sounds like I am, but this is a rough stone. And I just want to get it out of the way. Let's just see where we are with that. I think that's a little bit better. But a little bit isn't enough. It needs to go more. Again, no pressure. And I know this video will probably go on. It should be a 2-minute video, but I picked a knife that had a blade that needs work to it. Like when you buy these, they've been owned, they're pre-owned, pre-loved, and they're going to maybe have somebody who couldn't sharpen. Now that's a little bit better now. It really is a little bit better. So I'm just going to, I like to clean, because I'm not using any water. You can use water on these if you want. It helps just move the dirt off, but for this I didn't want to. I just wanted to use this so it's easier to see. It's just a matter of holding it there, do that. Put it back up, holding it there, do that. Nothing fancy, just learn how to do it basic. And people say, well, why are you spending this time on this wee knife? Paddy, you have lots of knives. But yes, it is a wee knife, yet it is dirt cheap, but it still works. And all we want our knives to do is cut. Look how thin that is. So that's going to slice fantastically. Try not to go off the blade or slip it off the side, you know, like this, because you can end up ruining the tip. So sort of come to the end of it and stop. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look. There, we can see I have an edge all the way along there. Now, this edge up here was done previously, so it had been, you can see it's not, the edge that I put on, when you hold it back, you can see that's the sort of thickness of the edge all the way along that I've got. I'm still not sure about this middle bit. I think it has been well and truly hacked, but it feels as if it's going to take an edge all right. And again, that's all I want. So I'm going to turn this over this time, and then I'm going to try and get an edge by bringing this. This is what we call the burr. So first time I'm coming down, I've moved the burr up onto this side, then I turn over to the other side, and I'm trying to get the burr to come up on this side. And don't stop until I got the burr. Now I've got one side, half right. That's when the burr, I can check my burr and make sure it's all right. So we'll show you what's that and how it sounds. After a few strokes, I'll put it up and let's see if I've got an edge. Yeah, there's an edge. You can see it running all the way along there now. So it's not hard to sharpen. It's just taking your time and getting that edge right. So just go until we get the burr on the other side. Said it was a damaged blade, but that's all right. I don't want to take too much off this. If I just get it repaired where it's cutting good, that's all I need. That's all this knife is only ever going to be, just for cutting a bit of thread, because I'll have bigger knives. I want to cut a box, unless there's sheeple about and I want to cut a big box and I'm frightened of taking the knife out. Well, then I'll bring this out, because this will cut a cardboard box. No problem. This will cut cardboard when I've got it sharpened. I was doing the wrong side. You see, I'm not busy talking and chittering. I was doing the wrong side. And you never said anything. So you have to watch me. And the amount of times you'll do that sometimes, especially if you're doing a higher grade steel and it's going on a wee bit, you tend to forget. Sometimes you get off and you start looking and then you accidentally turn it over to the other side. And let's just see. Yeah, that's a good edge coming on there now. That's a good edge. So I'm going to do this side and just take that burr. I know what I should have done. How you find the burr, right, is by running your nail down this here. And if you can hear it rough on the edge, that's the metal burr. So I'm just going to take it off I like to start a fresh stone with no burr on it. So, I do it once, I do it twice, and that's it, and move on to the next stone. Other people have different ways of doing it. I like to do it this way. So I like to do it. And one, I like to do it because I like to check that the knife is sharp, that I'm getting the apex on every stone that I go to. So let's just see if this is sharp. It's not going to be slicing sharp because this is a 320 grit. But let's just see. Absolutely not. Well, there you go now. You can see that it's just a matter, it's rough, but it's got an edge. So with this carbon steel, it cuts easy, and I move from this, and I'm going to go down to this, which is a fine diamond, which again, fine is normally about between 400 and 600. I would say this is 600. So that's just literally. So I'm going to start this side, and I'm going to put the burr on the other side. And this stone's much easier. You can hear the sound. It's not as harsh. And this is going to make sure that I get a nice apex. And that's when it comes to the point. So, again, all I'm doing is holding the blade still. All I'm doing, and I'm behind the camera now, so, it literally is so easy. Just hold your wrist still, the blade still. Make sure you turn around to get to the point. And that's it. So you're going straight down to the point. And then this time, sometimes you have to do this because we tend to do that and you've missed this bit already before you're going to here. So every now and then I'll maybe give it a couple of wee strokes like that just to catch it up with the rest of the blade. And then just keep your blade on. Try not to take it off. If your wrist stays still, you just turn around. So, and this is how I always feel. Now listen. Can you hear that? It's like that's a little bit of wire that's running right across the top. So I can change over now, come to this side, and then I'm trying to take it off. And again, with the inside, give it a wee helping hand. And you know, you can hold it straight and go down straight like this, or you can turn it sideways, which is what I prefer, is like that. Because I seem to have more control over it doing it that way. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And this fine stone. And if it wasn't for that fixing and me gibbering, this wouldn't take long, and this wee knife. You know, it's different if it was a powdered steel, then it's going to take you a little bit of time. But the diamond stones, as long as you don't push into them, they just do the work. I mean, you shouldn't have a tired hand at the end of it. It's just, all you're doing is holding your hand nearly still and moving this down. I'm not sure which one's moving the most, probably the stone, but it's just keeping it straight. You can see it's just, my wrist is firm, but I'm not digging. That's what you've got to remember. Do not dig, because all that does is wrecks your stones. All you're doing is digging the stones out of it. And then you're going to get that uneven surface where you've dug a hole and dug the stones out themselves. So that sounded good. It's sharp up to there, but in the middle it's not. So what I tend to do, I'll start up here and just come down like this, and then I'm getting all the bits that wasn't doing, but I'm getting it in the same angle, and then do it again just to get the same angle, and then I'm going to do it all the way down, join it up. So big burr up there and not a lot there. Right. You can see I'm speeding up a wee bit. Change over the other side. And has anybody had a go at freehand sharpening since we started this wee series, or has their freehand sharpening improved at all? I would love to hear that. I would love to hear your experiences. If you're still not getting it, or there's something you're just not getting, and just ask me any questions. Honestly, there's no silly questions, because if you can't get it, it's not silly. You know what I mean? So just ask anything at all. I'm not here to ridicule. I'm here to help. I'm just finishing this off. Now, I know there's people give it, you have to do the same thing on both sides. You know, I understand that. But I'm just a rough sharpener. I don't have genuine rules. I just keep going. There you go. You can see that now. That is now starting to... That's a lovely little toothy edge on that. Really nice, because that's a 600 grit. I'm just seeing if I got... Yes, I have. Oh, I have a wee bit. So that's a real toothy edge. So if this wee knife wanted to cut a cardboard box, look at that. It's a really damp bit of box iron. Let me get this side. There you go. Look at that. For a wee tiny knife, I'm behind this camera and I can't see what I'm doing. So that'll cut your box open. That is a nice little toothy edge that's absolutely fine. So I'm just literally going to sharpen this again to where I left it. So there we go. So that's not a bad edge on that, is it? Nice wee knife, nice wee edge on it. So we've got rid of the problem, and I'll just show you now. And the other thing with checking your blades, it's important because it lets you see, because you want to have, look at that now, right? Let's get this edge. There you are. You can see that edge there all the way up. And then I turn it over and you can see this edge. And it looks like it's about the same, doesn't it? And that's what you want. About is it's not, maybe not absolutely micro, it's about the same, and it looks nice. It's pleasing to my eye, and I know it's an old knife, but I like to have it pleasing, that the bevel is even on both sides, which means your apex is good. So there's the two main stones. That's them done. So now all we're going to do is refine this edge. So we're just going to put it, this is about 1,000 grit ceramic, and all I'm going to do, and I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on this because, you know, it's pretty sharp. It doesn't need anything more. This is just going to be a little fifth pocket knife that I carry every day, that's used for any wee jobs where I don't need to use my main blade. Because, you know, if you're talking about EDC, your main blade is your main blade for a reason. It's the one you want to do most of your tasks, or to be called upon if you're in trouble and you need it to do anything. That's what it's there for. So the more you can use a little knife like this during your day, if something does happen and you break down the middle of the country somewhere, your main blade is sharp and ready for anything. And I know this, I'm not expecting the apocalypse. I'm not expecting anything like that, but it's just EDC. It's like Boy Scout. Be prepared. Use this most of the time. Use your main blade when it's absolutely necessary. And you've always got that fine edge on it. And if somebody stops you and said, if you got a knife, you can bring out your knife and it's sharp. And all this will do is it'll give it a bit of a polish, just give it a little bit of a keener edge. It's just gentle strokes up here. There we go. I would say that will be enough on that stone. Let's just see how she's cutting. Pretty good. That's going to do me any wee task that I've got during the day. That will do it. Let's get some of this pucker away. And now we're on the last. And this is the little leather strap. Now the leather strap I had in this was wore out. So I just had a little bit of skinny leather lying about. I didn't take any time to do it. I didn't want it to look all professional. I just stuck a little bit of leather on with super glue onto the top. I took the old one off, the old bit of leather off, stuck this on top, and now I've got a strap. And what I've got on this is Gunny Juice. I'm just going to show you the bottle. It's Gunny Juice UK. I'll put the proper name of the... Now you can get it in the States all over the place. You'll know where it is in your own country. But this is now available in the UK, and I've only just had it, and it's flipping fantastic. It genuinely is. It comes in a bottle. There you go. And it says Gunny Juice there at the bottom. It's Scott Gunn, an American who makes this. This is in 3 micron. This is not going for a hair. Well, it will do it, but that's not what it's for. It's for polishing your braid, making it look nice, making that edge a little bit more refined again. Everything in the progression downwards is making it look fine. But you've seen how that cut, and I think you'll see a difference after I've used this this Gunny. It is just, it's a nice wee stop there. That was just a big thick bit of leather. It's quite firm, which is nice. That just glides over already. It takes any harshness that's on the edge of the blade off. Nearly immediately you can feel the difference. It is super. I'm so impressed. I've had a bottle for years there, which was, I think it was 0.5 micron or something, or 1 micron. And it was so expensive, I really hardly used it. But now, you know, circumstances have changed a bit more. I can afford to get something like this. And if it makes my blade look nicer, cut nicer, well, why not use it? Do you know what I mean? Why not? But I really do love it. I'm so glad it's on sale here in the UK. It's one of the things that we find hard to get over here. Or getting one that you really like. I genuinely like this after just a few days. I've got one on a stropping wheel, which I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow on trying to get a mirror edge on a stropping wheel that goes on my little battery drill. So that'll be interesting tomorrow. If you want to see that, please join. Not sure what time it'll be. It'll go up in the afternoon sometime. My goodness, that is just so smooth. Now, let me just show you. Look at the gleam on that blade. Look at it. Honestly, let me just look at the gleam on that. That's just a couple of strokes. You can imagine after a week or two of just using that strop at the end of the day, how flippin' lovely that's going to be. Look at that. It is just fantastic stuff. I really love it. So that's me finished. This knife blade is now ready for use, ready to put on the buffing wheel tomorrow and see. Look at that. That is just fantastic. That strop adds so much, but it only adds it if your apex is right. And that's the apex there, is this bit at the top. When two sides meet like this perfectly, or as good as you can get them, then it's something like the ceramics and the leather strops, then they can do their work. That's when they're at their best. Look at that. Right up to the tip. It's beautiful. So it's a lovely little blade. It looks pleasant. Is it perfect? No, it's not. I can see still in that wee middle bit that's not great, but this side of the knife is, and I didn't want to take any more blade off. You can hardly notice the blade taken off. So this will do. Oh, this will do. I can't see from behind this camera. It is. When I take my time and show you, look how clear that is. Look. Sharp as a razor. So I hope you enjoyed that. I really do suggest, I'll put the name of the company down below as soon as I've uploaded it. Give me about a minute and I'll add the name of this. It's one fella that sells it here in the UK. Please head over, see him. It works out, I think it's, I can't remember, somewhere about 25 quid, between 25 and 30 quid. It's only a little small, 30, I think it's 30 mils. But to be honest with you, that'll last you a long time. But it will make your knives feel good. And isn't that what we want to do? Make our knives feel nice. All right, I'm away. I've got to do the other wee blade on the other side, but it's not damaged. See, I could have used that, but this one was damaged, so it took a wee bit longer. Gives me a little bit more time to talk to you. And I can't believe how good this Gunny Juice just takes away. It's just very hard to get a wee blade. Look at that. Can you see just how nice that is, that wee edge? And there was really no work in it. It was more me waffling. There you go. Right. I'll see you tomorrow when we're going to be using, let me just get this out. I'm so excited to use this. I am going to put some Gunny Juice on this baby. You can see this. And I am going to strop my knife on this tomorrow and see what it's like. Because if it's good and Gunny Juice is good, I'm going to get the 16 weight one. That one's 3. I'm going to go up to 16, and it will actually resharpen a wee bit of knife that's been used maybe a little bit more heavy than what everyday use is giving it. So I'll be using that tomorrow. It's a bit wobbly. I've got to fix this and put some blue thread locker on it because it keeps unlocking. But there you go. I'll see you tomorrow for this. I hope you enjoyed that. Once again, thank you, Randy, for this wee knife. This is a lovely little knife. I'm going to enjoy using it. But I'm now going to go over. I just wonder if that's wrapping off the bottom, and that's what that is. I'll have to check that. Oh, this one is just, oh, it's further up. I'm trying to pull the edge of the blade up. So I'm going to fix this little blade, which is not as dull. It's actually got a bit of an edge. So for this one, I wouldn't use the very coarse. I'll just use a medium grit, the 600 grit, and give it a start there and just the progression down to the end, and then a wee strop. Let's go. Bye-bye now. Have a great day. God, that was half an hour. Sorry.